Okay, so to go ahead and set up 4 equally sized viewports so we can lay out our multi-view drawings, all 20 of these multi-view drawings, what we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to grab a layout. So I'm going to grab it, one of the 2 layouts that I have down here at the bottom of my screen, and this is just a basic blank layout. What we'll need to do first is we're going to need to get our title block. So I'm going to go back to one of my other layouts that actually has a title block, and I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of the viewports on here so I can walk you through the whole process. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight my title block, do a Control C, hit Escape. Then I'm going to move over to the layout that I just created, and I'm going to delete the viewport that is on here currently. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Delete. Then I'm going to do a Control V and place the title block that I just grabbed onto that sheet. Now, if anything does not show up on your title block, you guys should know by now that you can actually then go ahead and go to Model Space and then come back to that layout, and anything should then populate. Okay. Now, the logo should be showing up here. However, since I'm using a student's file, I've accessed this individual's location for the logo is not showing up, so that's fine. Your logo should show up. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and get 4 equally sized viewports. What we'll do is we're going to then go ahead and grab the proper layer for our viewports. We go ahead and actually put this on the border layer. Then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the layout tool, or the layout tab at the top. I'm going to slide over here, and instead of grabbing rectangular right away, we're going to grab named. By grabbing named, it gives us the ability here to go in and select new viewports. When we get new viewports, we can come down and we can then go ahead and select a single viewport, which is how we've been doing it all along, or we can then go ahead and select 2 vertical. And if you see over here in the preview area, this is a preview, 2 vertical viewports. We don't want 2. Do we want 2 horizontal? Nope. Do we want 3? Do we want 3? Do I hear 4? Do I hear 4? There's 4 equal down here. So you can see, you can come down and select from this list. This will actually place 4 equal viewports when we pull across our title block. So this is what we're looking to do here. Okay. So we'll come back down here. We're going to go ahead and hit OK. And then what I'm going to do is then go from my top left in my title block viewing space down to the bottom right of my title block viewing space, just like I'm placing a single viewport, but come down here to the end and click. And what that does is it will place 4 equally sized viewports. Once you have your 4 equally sized viewports, you can go ahead and then double click inside any one viewport, move over, slide in, and then you can set up each particular view for the object. So here's number 1, rabbited block. I'll come down to the bottom and manipulate this viewport just like it's a single viewport. Well, scale 1 to 1 is not going to work. Obviously, we're going to come back 1 to 2, and we'll set up 1 to 2. And we set up all of our dimensioning style to be annotative at 1 to 2, so that's what would definitely work. So we're going to go ahead and put 1 here. I'll come over here and set up number 2 in this viewport here. So number 2, and I just want to go ahead and center up these views within each particular viewport. And I'm not really concerned whether 1 is here, or 2 is here, or 3. Just make sure that you have 1 through 4 on the first page, and that you have 5 through on second, and so forth and so on. So I'll go ahead and get these set up. Now, if you take note, I do not have any construction lines showing up because my construction lines have been turned off. What I want you to do is make sure that your construction lines are turned off and that they are also set up not to print. So when you actually come up and you set up and do a plot preview to see what's going to print, when you come into the print icon and you slide across and see Adobe PDF, always do a preview to check to see what's going to print. And I can see that none of my construction lines are turned on to print. If you do see construction lines and they are set up to print, what you're going to do is you're going to have to go into your Layer Property Manager and just make sure that the construction lines are turned off for printing. So here's my construction lines. The light bulb is simply showing visibility within my viewport and my model space, but the plot icon right here, that right now is set up so that they do not plot or print, whether it is to a hard copy printer or to a PDF. So make sure they are turned off. And then you're going to go ahead and set up the subsequent sheets. And you're going to go ahead and create 5 sheets, lay out 4 per sheet. Make sure that the information on the title block is set up properly as well. Make sure that the sheet number is set up to be 1. Make sure sheet 2 is 2. Then make sure problem sheet title 1 through 4 is set up properly, so forth and so on, date, scale, and then of course student name. Alright, hope this helps get you set up for equal viewports for the multi-view drawing first problem.